welcome to my blog. I am now into double figures because this is my 10th episode, which is exciting. Cue mini trumpet fanfare. It's been a few weeks since my last update because quite a lot has happened. So every time I think I've got my head around this situation, and by situation I mean the fact I have cancer, something else happens to throw me off. So I can't remember if I've spoken about this in a previous episode, but because I have triple negative breast cancer and because I'm still quite young, yes, in some circles 31 does still count as young. They had to do genetic testing to see if I had the faulty BRCA gene. For those of you who don't know about BRCA, I won't go into the scientifics because I'll probably get it completely wrong. But essentially, everyone has the BRCA gene, but if yours is faulty or has a mutation, you are at a higher risk of getting breast and or ovarian cancer at some point in your lifetime. So before Christmas, I had an ultrasound and MRI to see how the tumour was doing. After, I think at that point I'd had 3 rounds of chemo. And I got the results back. It's moving in the right direction and shrinking. I was obviously ecstatic because it makes all of this worthwhile. So that was lovely. And then literally a week later, I was called with my genetics results and I was brought straight back down to earth because I have the faulty BRCA gene. And even though I knew there was a high chance, like I wouldn't have been tested if there wasn't a chance, I was absolutely devastated. I just felt like I couldn't catch a break. It opens up a minefield of questions about the future and also about my current situation. And not just for me though, this affects my family too, so that's really difficult. And now that I've had a few weeks to get my head around it all, and I think I am beginning to now, I just keep focusing on the fact that I found the lump when I did. This situation could be so much worse than it is, and because of BRCA, I would have had a high chance of getting breast cancer anyway. So let's just get it out of the way now, I say, whilst I'm young and fit and healthy enough to kind of deal with it. So, I mean, in terms of my treatment and how it's going to impact that, my drugs were changing from chemo number 5 onwards anyway. They were always going to change, and that was last week. But frustratingly, what it means is that as well as having it every 3 weeks, which I'd gotten used to, I managed to plan things around, like kind of work out when I could do things and when I couldn't. I now have to have a smaller dose on a weekly basis, as well as the 3-week ones. So apparently the side effects of this one are better than my first combination, and that does appear to be true so far, so that's good. But I think I've spoken about scalp cooling previously, and posted a picture, a really attractive picture of me wearing the cold cap, basically designed to prevent hair loss. So far it's been working fairly well. I mean, you can definitely see my scalp from certain angles. There, can you see it? I'll just move that hairband thing I've got out of the way, but it's just there. But there is still hair, as you can see. And if I wear the right contraption and from the right angle, it can look completely normal. But I find the whole scalp cooling thing really traumatic. It's horrible. I get really anxious every single time. And whilst I was completely prepared to do it for 8 cycles, the thought of wearing it 12 more times, because basically that's what they said, I'd have to wear it every single time I go, filled me with dread. So unfortunately, I've had to be a bit of a baby and give it up. But it's just not worth it. I have to prioritise, and I was getting so anxious, just the thought of it. It's just not worth it. So I had my first chemo on Friday without the cold cap, which was a much more pleasant experience. And now I'm just waiting for the fallout, quite literally. I mean, it might be a fluke, might not come out at all, but we'll see. Um, and when I said to my oncologist that I wouldn't be able to wear the cold cap every week, she mentioned wigs again to me. Um, so I know everyone is different, but I was pretty averse to the whole wig thing. I just didn't like the idea of it at all. But I'm willing to try anything. So along I went to the wig place in the cancer centre with my trusty sidekick, aka Laws. Um, hmm, where to start? Um, I laughed a lot, so that's got to be a good thing. Um, but essentially, it was a disaster. They all aged me by at least 20 years and almost definitely looked like I was wearing a wig. Um, it's like they haven't looked at hairstyles since the 1970s. Anyway, I'm going to try and quickly show you what the wig actually looks like because you need to see it to believe it. So can you see? So that's one. Oh, let me get that. Don't know if you can see that. Okay. Number two. Oh, so sort of reading 10 o'clock news. Donald Trump, eat your heart out. I think there's one more. Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh, it's quite light. So it's difficult to see. Essentially, it looks like I'm auditioning for a part on Baywatch. So that was that. Um, so in summary, it's a no from me to the wigs. I ended up buying a scarf and sort of tying it on my head in a kind of 1950s housewife vibe. Which I think I'm going to stick with. So I bought some fabric yesterday and I'm going to try and fashion my own and see how that goes. So perhaps I'll learn a new skill, another silver lining. So hopefully by the time I do my next one, I might be able to show you an example of something I've made, which would be exciting. Um, but until then, I will see you soon. Bye.